Well.
I love when I clap, the dust goes everywhere, and I'm like,
It's like Thanos.
Do you dust frequently? Does your mother?
Yeah, I dust frequently.
Really?
Yeah, my studio, because all my stuff is black.
Yeah.
So I just don't want it to look messy when people come by.
I bet if I swipe my finger across
or loudly yelled
the back of my.
If you just yelled loudly, it would just. You know what I mean?
Oh man, it's bad in here. Do you have an air filter?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
those are a
win
myth.
Some, you lose some. Really?
Those are a myth.
What does that mean? They're a myth.
It's a myth.
They don't exist, or
you know how much how much air you have to filter at one time in order to make it. What if are any windows open in your house?
No.
Then you're just suffocating. You're just suffocating and you're trying to filter air out for what reason?
It pulls the oxygen. I'm like,
that means you haven't. And if you open the door for 1 second and a breeze comes in, that filtered the last 6 hours of filtering.
It's like you got to restart. You're back to ground zero.
Don't buy an air filter, bro.
I have one.
Yeah, I know it's on all the time.
It's on all the time.
I don't think it does anything.
So the other day I was cleaning. First off, it was dirty on top, dusty.
Yeah, I know.
And then the sides.
All air filters are disgusting.
The sides. It was the lint catcher in the laundry. It was thick.
Yeah.
It was thick. And I vacuumed it. I just ran the vacuum up and down.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, this thing is
Is it clean now?
No.
I could look at it. I don't want to though.
No. Oh, look at it.
That looks awful. It looks like it's not doing anything. It looks like it's actually not doing anything. It's not filtering air. It's just collecting dust.
Oh no. I think it's just for white noise. What are your thoughts?
It's loud.
What are your thoughts on white noise?
It's nice, but that is not white noise. That is like a vacuum in the room.
Wait, can we hear it?
It's on right now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's usually much louder.
It's auto. It does. Normally we're hotboxing this place, huh?
White noise is nice. If you can, I'm sick in the head. I need a lot of noise just to function. Welcome to TalkBox.
TalkBox. Is it the TalkBox or TalkBox?
No, it just has to be TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox.
Okay.
TalkBox.
TalkBox.
TalkBox. TalkBox.
TalkBox.
TalkBox.
Okay. It can be loose. It can be free.
Okay. TalkBox.
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 Okay.
TalkBox.
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 This is
TalkBox.
TalkBox.
TalkBox. TalkBox.
TalkBox.
TalkBox.
This is TalkBox. Yeah. That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Welcome to TalkBox.
TalkBox.
I feel like we got to work on an intro, huh?
I'm Obscure Matchi. You're Mixing Waves, Narek.
You can't do that.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm Matchi.
I'm Narek.
Oh, there we go.
You're Obscure Matchi.
Let's do one.
Wait, do we identify as our Instagram handles?
No.
That's us. We are
I don't.
Instagram. Oh, okay.
I don't. Because you don't identify as Mixing Waves. Do you?
No, I've never said that to anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. It almost doesn't make sense to have that on my Instagram, but I'm keeping it.
Dude, I had 1,000 good things.
I'll probably change it.
I had 1,000 good points, and then I just lost them all because your ass was talking about mixing waves. Dude, we are in, obviously, as everybody in our podcast knows.
Obscure Matchi. Are you gonna fucking change that, dude?
No.
That's his Instagram handle, Obscure Matchi.
What do you want me to change it to?
Mine is Mixing Waves.
Machi's taken somehow
Matchi.
on everything. Dude, could you imagine if I had Matchi?
Asian
Singular?
Matchi.
No.
Filipino Matchi.
No. Mine used to be Filipino doormat.
Why?
There was another Matt in this class with me. They would call
nice.
him,
I like the Matt. I forgot your name's Matthew.
They would call him floor mat and doormat. I was doormat.
I see.
So then it was Filipino doormat for a while.
I forgot your name's Matthew. I've never called you that.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe Matt, but that's still Matchi.
I've actually taken, recently within the last few months, I've taken a lot of pride in the name Matchi.
It's nice.
I've gone full circle.
Do you like that gap, that silence? I was processing. I'm building tension.
So 2024 New Year's resolutions. This is the
we
first,
are the Dragon Tamers.
don't get me wrong. We've recorded every episode so far in 2024, as they're going to be released in 2024. But no, this is the first episode we're officially recording in 2024. What are your New Year's resolutions?
Are you fucking serious right now? Are we doing that?
Give me one. Just give me one. I don't know. What do you want?
I thought we had a plan. I thought we had a plan for the
We never had
episode.
plans for
You're
this
like,
shit.
you're like.
Just give me a resolution. Jesus Christ.
I think it's more of an overarching theme rather than a general resolution.
Yeah.
I'd love to be more disciplined. Rather than a specific resolution, I have an overarching theme.
Okay, yeah.
And when I do this, I want you to put overarching.
Well, you're cutting out of frame there. You come center.
Overarching theme.
Well, you got to do it the other way.
Oh,
'cause
right,
it's
right,
flipped.
right. I was thinking in Arabic. Sorry.
Yeah.
Overarching theme. Or Aramaic. Discipline. I think I want to be more disciplined. I'm trying. I'm not doing a great job. People are like, "Oh, it's the new year. I'm working out every day. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just trying my best."
Yeah.
It's a hard mental game, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard mental game. A lot going on, but it's looking good. Yeah, that's it. I don't care for New Year's resolutions. I really don't care.
What do you mean?
I don't think you should wait until the new year. I mean, even though I did, but I'm still like I'm saying, like I just you should always try. You don't have to wait until New Year's to make a difference in your life.
Sure.
Even if it's November, you're like, I'm gonna wait till New Year's. If it's December, I'm gonna wait till New Year's. Start when you feel you need to start. If you have a problem in your life you need to resolve.
Mm-hmm. Then resolve it. No, but I feel like I will die on this hill. I feel like there is too much New Year's resolution hatred in this world right now. Because the popular thing
anyone
now,
hating it.
The popular thing now is to hit him with the David Goggins, "Oh, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions."
Is that a thing?
I assume
Has
so,
to
probably.
be. I love David Goggins, man.
He goes, "Every day is a new year for me."
I wish it was. That's where I want to be at. Every day is a New Year's.
But okay, I think the argument isn't that you need to wait until New Year's. I think that for a lot of people who feel discouraged, the New Year is like it is the reset point.
Yeah, it's symbolic. Your reset point could be tomorrow. You're
I
waiting
know.
for a fake
I know,
construct of symbolism.
Right. But at the same time, there is a little bit of like
I agree.
symbolism in it.
I
Anyway.
agree, but I'm saying this because I feel like I wish it wasn't the same for myself. You know what I mean? Also because the holidays are very like November to December. It's very hard to like cut down on your diet, not go out with your friends, not drink during the holidays, and like
Right.
it's constant festivities and different traditions and families flying in, friends are flying in. You're going out to your hometown, maybe. Like I understand. It's not a good enough excuse, though. You gotta wake up.
My ass didn't go anywhere.
Who's-
for holidays.
I hate this pop filter thing. We have to take care of. Who's getting the boats?
What is that?
Wait. What does
What
he
is
say?
that?
What does he say?
What is that?
Who's
What's that from?
Goggins, bro? What does he say?
The boats.
Can we look it up?
Who's getting the boats? What? What is this on TikTok?
No. Just go on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
Just type in Goggins boats. Who's getting the boats? What does he say, man?
Boat crew?
Boat.
And I looked on the instructors' faces and
Is that it?
No, man. That's not it. It's like if not me, then who?
Why is it boats?
Cause it's like who's gonna?
Hold on. Hello. Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
They're in.
Dude, so I just got a call from sorry,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't have said that.
They bleep their name.
Shout out, bleep, bleep, bleep. They just called me. So they only print the pictures that are exposed in a roll. There's 36 pictures on a roll of film, usually. And they'll only print the ones that are exposed properly.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know that you've done a good job
If they give you back all 36.
if you have to pay $15.83 like I do.
Okay.
Oh man, that was good.
Yeah, David Goggins, get the boats. Every day is a new day.
I sent you one. I sent you a David Goggins one that was really good. It was like it's okay. It's like, don't worry, you can always wait till tomorrow. Nobody was counting on you anyway, or something. Nobody believed in you anyway. Like something fucking crazy.
That's good. Okay.
Uh,
What's your New Year's resolution, man?
Oh man. Dude, I don't have one.
Good. Perfect.
You know what it has
Let's
been?
move on.
Let me regale the story real quick. My New Year's resolution up to a point was to like go and try to take more photos. I bought a book over there, NFT, not for tourist guide to LA.
Nice.
It's definitely a tourist guide to LA.
Okay, that's good.
But I needed like points. You know, I needed places to go because everybody gatekeeps their photo spots.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been looking through there, and then I went to Echo Park yesterday,
Nice.
and I was having a great time. And then my camera broke.
Yeah.
And so I've been going out like 5 times a week to go take photos, but out of nowhere, the universe threw a wrench in my plans yesterday. I feel like my baby was killed.
Yeah, it sucks when you're sort of in life sort of treats you that way. I was just thinking about that.
So
Okay. Okay, today we're going to talk about all this New Year's nonsense. It's fine if you're doing New Year's resolution. You know what the problem is?
what's the problem?
If you've been alive, let's say 30 years, and you've had like a solid 15 years, right, or even like 12 years of mature New Year's resolutions,
Mm-hmm.
by the 30th year, if they actually worked, you would have been the perfect human being. And seeing that I don't find that very often, maybe we should change the mentality to just be like, every day is our New Year's.
Well, it's fine.
Every day we try something new. We don't wait till Monday.
You can always wait till tomorrow. Nobody was counting on you anyway.
Exactly. Whatever. Do what you want. I don't care.
No, I respect that. And I agree with you.
No, I do New Year's resolutions too. I'm just saying, like, I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it.
I do New Year's resolutions because I'm better than everybody else. I follow them to
Not
a
quite.
fucking T. I follow them to
Not
a
quite,
damn
man.
T.
You were way better off like 6 months ago for sure.
It's an ebb and flow, man. It's an ebb and flow. What do you want from me?
Okay, listen. Today, we want to talk about what do we do, right? What do we do on a day-to-day, or even not even a day-to-day? We've said that 100 times. What do we do in our careers? It's easy to say, I mix songs. I master songs. I record people. It's easy for Matchi to say he does photography. But what does that like? What is the workflow actually like? What is it that we do, right? No one really understands what it is until they either see it or they get a plain, decent explanation of it. But if you've never really seen it or experienced it, it's hard to understand. But we're going to try our best over here, give you a quick synopsis on what we do and shed light on, the mixing and photography process. I guess it's like a general creative process among photography and music.
Sure.
You go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't even know what I do right now.
I don't even know what the fuck I do right now.
Right. You know what I was curious about is your approach on, like, being a good photographer, right? I didn't understand. I'm like, oh, Matchi takes great pictures. And then you told me that you did, like, these reviews on Reddit, like, rate my pictures critique my pictures.
Uh-huh.
And people are saying these things, some of them positive, some of them not negative, but they're critiques, right? Like, this picture didn't do anything for me.
Some of them were pretty negative.
Yeah, negative, but they're critiques. And you asked for critiques, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, your background is like, why would you choose that background? Whatever. I'm like, dude, all these pictures look great. Like, what makes a good picture and a bad picture? Also, what is like, when do you choose to use film? When do you choose to use the digital? And when you, I'm not sure about video, but
wow, that's such a great question, Narek. Wow. That's good. I like that because I had no idea where I was going, but now I know where I'm going.
Okay, go ahead.
It's like, well, I just want to say sometimes you really doubt yourself and you're like, do I even know what the fuck I'm doing? And then somebody asks you a question and you have 10 hours of like answers, right? Like this girl, someone hit me up the other day. She was like, can I get advice? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I was like, let me see. And then I started to type it out and then I was like, holy shit, I have like 1,000 things to say. But I think there's 2 primary fields that I've noticed since I started working in photography. And that's like, you can either go into the realm of taking photos for people or taking photos of people.
Oh, okay.
So taking photos for people is like when you're working with an influencer, or you're working with an artist, or you're working with a celebrity, and they hire you to take photos
Like you're
for
just
them.
following them around.
Yeah, or like they need promo
Events.
photos.
Yeah,
They need promo photos or event photos where they need to look good.
Mm.
Or there's photos of people where you're doing either like street photography
Right.
or
People hire you, just like a bunch of different people will hire you to do like street photography or
no.
whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I feel street photography is more of a solo venture. So like that's where you're looking at like publishing a book later on down the line, or like even making a name for yourself as a street photographer, because no one is like explicitly asking for like, hey, can you go take pictures on Lake or Shrimp for 10 hours?
Right.
So like
it's sort of up to you to choose the canvas.
Yeah. So it's
unless they suggest something, unless I want to be in the woods or something like that.
Well, in the past there have been like people have been hired by like cities and governments to like hire or to like shoot the city. But now we're in a different age. So like it's less popular as a medium for, like, if you go that route of like street photography, then your world is like offering classes to people and like selling prints. Online. And then
sounds sort of like miserable.
Yeah, exactly. But then the ironic thing is that a lot of people love street photography.
Yeah.
And a lot of people hate shooting influencers.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, by the way, if you do that, it's cool. I'm just saying it sounds miserable as in like the income from it sounds miserable.
Yeah.
Unless you're successful at it, in which case it sounds like a dream.
Well, there's some people that are incredible
I'm sure they're either incredible or successful, not mutually exclusive. But that being said, that sounds like a dream if you're able to do anything you love and make money off of it.
I heard about this guy. He's a famous LA street photographer. And he was working with our friend who like is a huge fan of his, and he got to work with him. And this guy, Esteban, he had 2 assistants with him all the time because he's so famous now. He had 2 assistants all the time. He shoots on film. They were...
Only film?
Yeah. He would shoot, hand off a camera, assistant would go, reload it. While he's reloading it, he hands off the camera, other assistant hands him a camera. It's like crazy. Dude, just like...
Wait, it's one shot each?
No. Like it's medium format, so it's like 8 shots. 12 shots. Yeah. It's really expensive stuff. But like it's there's not much, and he's like spraying and praying.
Right.
It's like
and okay. That being said, we have a general idea. You have the influencers that you could take pictures of, videos of, promo, and then you have the more street photography, more like avant-garde, artsy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. And then one is like selling prints. The other one's obviously making money per commission of whatever project you're doing, or daily rate, whatever it is. Right. So yeah, what does the payment look like? The payment on one end is, you said, the prints, and then the other one for the influencers, or you're working for a company, even it's either daily rate, salary, hourly, right? It's like the general negotiations that you make with another entity, another company.
Yeah.
Right. But the street photography is completely independent. You're selling it on yourself. You're booking clients, and you're eventually publishing books and printing work to make money on your own. Great. Now, what goes into, because it's completely subjective, what goes into a good picture? What's a good picture for you? Is it the model? Is it where you shoot it? Is it the emotion that is captured within the moment? Is it spontaneous? Is it staged?
Yeah. I mean, it all really depends on what you're doing. Like the best pictures for the event that I shot 2 weeks ago for like a birthday party, the best pictures were where everybody was smiling and everybody looked good.
Right.
But that's not necessarily the case. Like a picture might be where there's a range of emotions, and it's like someone's upset, someone's happy, and someone's like fine.
But what's cool is that might be the best picture in more of an avant-garde sense, but it's not the best promo picture.
Exactly. And so you just have to know your audience. You have to know what you're shooting for. And so like there have been a ton of times where I've had what I think is an incredible photo, and I send them to the client, and the client's like, these photos blow. And they're like looking at their cheekbones. They're like, my cheekbones are like too defined, they're not defined enough. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, it's the same as music,
right?
In
it's
a
the same
sense
demand.
where,
like if you work on your own, you can sort of do what you want. If you work for other people, it's like,
And so I guess like what is good in music, what's good in photography, what's good in movies, it's just like you develop a taste and you develop an eye,
right?
And like everything is subjective, but to a point, there are also things that are like critically, objectively good.
Right.
And so like, if you have good composition, like if you have good contrast and you have good lighting, good exposure, and like
these videos, they look great.
Thank you.
I think objectively speaking, they look great, because someone could say because we're comparing it to something, right?
Right.
Like, is that subjective or objective? I think it might be objective, because if you look at, let's say, majority of podcasts,
that's objective. Yeah.
Like, let's say you compare it to 99% of podcasts, we're probably in the top 5 percentile of video quality.
Yeah.
If you just look at even popular podcasts, the video quality is not necessarily.
Let's call them out by name.
I don't know. Just all the ones that you see on TikTok, all the ones that you see on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's like millions of random podcasts that you go through on a daily basis. If you listen to podcasts, it comes up on your feed, on every single feed that you have. So just looking at those, I'm like, dude, these are like terrible. And then you look at their views. These people have like millions of subscribers and millions of downloads, and you're like, wow, why do we care this much? It's because we have a general love and a sense of quality that we want.
We have a
in the
passion.
vid- yeah,
we have
yeah.
a passion for the video
Yeah.
quality.
The same as the audio. I mean, the audio is like, it's good. I don't think it's the best, but I certainly think it's good.
Certainly in the top 5%.
We don't cut out all the low end in our voice. We don't like. I try not to leave any echo in the room as much as I can. You know, like I think the audio quality is generally good. We have decent microphones.
This room is completely soundproof.
This room has a crazy slapback.
Wait, I just wanted to say one last thing about photography.
Yeah. Sorry.
The number one thing is that like when you're shooting for an influencer, you're shooting for an artist, it feels so good when you do a shoot with someone. You're terrified going in, and I think we as creatives, we need that. Like we need the lows and we need the highs. So like when I'm panicking on the drive to the shoot location, and then I get into it, I'm like, okay, like I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I'm like, I'm really happy with these pictures. And then I send them to the artist or the influencer that I'm working with, and they change their profile picture to a picture that I took. I'm like, I keep a catalog. I know there's like 8 people that I've sent photos to that have one of my photos as their profile picture.
Right.
That might be the best feeling. That might be my
because that's what they want. Their whole that's the face of their brand. It's the face of their image. They're identifying with something you took.
Yeah.
Which is great. And you know what it is? I think it's the same with developing good ears for audio. And I think it's hard to explain what we do. Like we say all the time, no one can see what you see through a lens. The same with any photographer. The same with any set of ears. You can't hear what we hear. We interpret it that way. And it's funny how when you listen to a lot of mixes by one person, you go like, that's such a Lou mix, right? We say that all the time. It's like it's such a like you could hear
Shout
it,
out
hear the Lou in the mix, which is one of the best of all time. Best mixing mastering engineers of all time. So I think it's that way. The same with photography. You see someone's you can't see their eyes, but you could get the vibe. Like no one can reciprocate that.
Right.
It's completely individual, but that could still make it objectively good in terms of quality.
Yeah, for sure.
Quality and
that's the other thing too. Who is it? Andrew Sheps.
Yeah.
Maybe he goes. I can show you what a good snare sounds like. I can't. Wait.
I can teach you what a good sound.
No, wait. Hold on. What is it? It's like I can play. Wait. Hold on.
Photographic memory.
It's like I can teach you how to mix this snare. I can't tell you what a good snare sounds like. Or something like that.
Something
You know what I'm
along the
talking
lines.
about?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with photography. It's like I can like show you how to take this photo, but I can't tell you what a good photo looks like.
Exactly.
You know,
like you could show me 1,000 photos. I could be like, they all look good, and then you could be like,
no,
you can't take one of those.
999 of these were dog.
Yeah, like, but I also couldn't identify or take a good photo. Let's say, right? But the thing is, it's developing the eye. Like you have a good eye for photography. I think generally speaking, I think you have a good eye for. I mean, the people that hire you certainly think you have a good eye for photography. And what convinces me even more is seeing the edits on the pictures before and after.
Right.
But like even sometimes I'm like, I'll give a criticism. I'll be like, oh, like too much contrast.
And then I want to.
Yeah. But you do the same for me. I show you my mixes. You give me general feedback on the mixes. But I'll be like, it's a little too sharp, or like the contrast is a lot. And you're like, oh, that's what I'm going for. I'm like, okay, then it's good. Like sometimes you told me sometimes you want to make it like a little, more intense, more animated. But like for these podcasts, if you see the before and after of the edits, it's crazy. It's like you bring like a whole level of life, which is like it's the same as like someone going in and being like, I mixed this song from start to finish.
Dude, should we get a little clip of the unedited? Wait. If you're watching the video right now, which you should be on YouTube, nice little ad break, then you will notice that right now I've taken off all of the color grading, including the light conversion. So this looks like gray right now. It looks exactly how we see it.
Which is it's still a good capture.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's a bad, like what we're looking at right now? Does that mean this is a bad video because it doesn't look perfect?
Well, no, it's like your human eyes can't see all of the colors that are being captured by the sensor right now. So then when I convert
My
it,
beady eyes.
when I convert it in the software, it has a greater range of colors than what the way that it gets captured in the camera.
So it's gonna transition from not color graded to color graded right now.
There you go.
And now it's color graded.
Wow.
How amazing do we look?
Oh my god.
Look at this room. It's like Disneyland.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Oh, man,
I'm sure we'll get more into videography in the future once people start asking questions.
Yeah. That was
But you're always welcome to DM us.
That was a long-winded. We were supposed to talk about that for approximately 5 minutes.
No.
Give me. Are we gonna do mixing?
Yeah, anything about mixing, recording. I mean,
let me hear it. So I want to give me the rundown on music in general, because I've been weighing this. Listen. So I've been like struggling because I was in music and then I was in photography and
you're still in
videography.
music, but more so in video.
And then like for me now, it's like I weigh it out constantly all the time, and like I listen to less music now than I used to, and I'm like, what is happening with me? And I'm like weighing this out. I want to know for you personally, like what is it that's attracting you about music?
Actually, I was actually very turned off from music last year, just because of the stress I went in with the job, which is why I say like you don't have to make this a career. It can be a hobby.
Yeah.
You can just listen to music and mix for fun and work on projects and make good money at your job and be perfectly happy. You don't need to pursue something and make money off of it in order for it to be like, you know what I mean? Like your passion doesn't have to be your job.
Yeah.
It's actually more enjoyable when if you really love it, you probably love it more than I do, and you're more passionate about it than I am if you don't need to make money from it. The same with making music. I don't know why everyone is so inclined to like post their music or even put it on Spotify or, you know, like the sake of loving music doesn't mean you have to share it with the masses. Or does it? That's a question that everyone can answer themselves. But someone told me something like this recently and it resonated with me, where just like, I'm sort of just doing this to a certain degree for money as well. Like I want my work to be what I enjoy.
Yeah.
It makes it less enjoyable though.
The hobby. It makes music less enjoyable.
It makes music less enjoyable.
Yeah.
That is, I think, a truth with most people that go into mixing. Or if you're mixing music for like 8 hours a day, you're not going to get off of your laptop or thing and want to like go listen to more music. You know, like you're not listening to music in your car. You're not, you know, you're doing everything but listening to music. I hear this with a lot of mixing engineers. I'm sure there's some people that are different. They're bumping music all the time. That's weird to me. You know what I mean? Like, but recently, within the past few, like couple months, I've been really enjoying music more and getting a different approach and understanding for mixing and music in general than what I've been doing before. I used to be more critical with what I was listening to, and I think now a lot of stuff is becoming more feel-based, like how things make me feel emotionally rather than the technical aspect of a song. And I'm realizing like mixes don't have to be good or bad. They just have to make you feel a certain way.
Right.
And if what is on paper, like when I say on paper, I mean like what is being portrayed to you by that song. Let's say Kendrick Lamar song or an indie band, right? If that's the message they're trying to get across with feel, if they're trying to make you feel blue, but blue is not a good mix, right? But it's blue and you're getting blue, then it's an accomplished mix. And you learn that a lot with working with indie bands and different people. It's like, okay, I need to get their emotion across. I don't necessarily need to make this a good song sonically, which in case some people do want me to make it a good sonically sound song, where I'm sort of like putting makeup on the song and trying to make it as good as possible. I can do that too. It's fun. You know, it's all fun. But the feel thing is like, when I listen to music sometimes in the car, like I'm closing my eyes in the car. If I'm like stopped or something, you know, momentarily, every time I listen to music, even in my room, I close my eyes because your eyes are a huge distraction. Even just looking at the meters on your console, looking at faders, looking at different colors, like it's a huge distraction to what you're hearing. If you can hear music with your if you can listen to music with your eyes closed, you get a different perspective on the emotion and the general field of listening, the listening experience, than with your eyes open. And so I've been trying to be more connected on emotional level with music, and I think it's working really good actually. And I've been trying to mix with my eyes closed, listening to things, and sort of coming back to them, moving faders sort of with my eyes closed and getting a feel for things rather than mixing with your eyes. Last thing, okay, go ahead and then I won't forget it.
Do you feel like you're like making mixes less clean now than you were a year ago?
Probably. But I'm trying to. The mixing clean thing is like, okay, I'm trying to tidy up and like. It's the technical approach. It's just like even when you make things too clean, it doesn't sound good all the time. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing, that there's no real objective. It's like what you're trying to get across, the message with the song. So you can make something sound really clean, but if it's not supposed to be a clean song, it ends up sounding bad. And like this is the reason I've started doing this one thing. I have a friend I've been talking to who's taught me a lot, and I take off all of the graphs. If I ever see a graph, I immediately turn it off. Like Pro Q3, I'm mixing with that off. Like that.
There's no way.
Yeah,
There's
that
no
like
way.
analyzers,
I can't do
I'm
it.
mixing with them off. I don't need to see it.
Yeah.
I can hear everything that's going on in the song. I don't know why I need to look at a graph.
Yeah.
If there's something specific that I'm trying to point out and I can find it, sure. But if you see, first of all, different analyzers have different like ways that they show you the graph based on different curves.
Right.
So one move you might make on one EQ is a completely different move that you might make on another one, just by the user interface.
Yeah.
So tell me that that's not influencing your decisions. You're wrong. It is influencing. Your eyes are always influencing your decisions. That's why I think it's gravitating towards things like channel strips and pull text and stuff is a great move, unless you're trying to do something super specific and you hear something and you want to cut it out. That is like really hard to do. If it's like something at 13K and you need to find it and it shows you on ProQ 13K, like, yeah, sure, that's cool. You can use it as a tool. But making huge decisions, it might be decisions that are going to harm you later on. That being said, I do think they're not maybe cleaner, but I feel like I'm giving people what they want more so than before. Before, I was trying to make everything sound to what you think in your head is clean, right?
Yeah.
But now I'm trying to do what the artist wants. We're a service. My job is a service. There's a certain level of you that goes into the mix always. It's not completely unbiased. But the approach is different. And that's sort of what it is. Mixing, by the way, like a general, like, this is what it sounds like when I get mixes, right? Yeah. I get either a 2-track or a set of tracks from instrumental music. Each will usually be, let's say it's a set of instrumentals. Drums or like kick, snare, hi-hat, and then keys, guitar, acoustic guitar, piano, synths. The whole production is on all the elements you hear are on individual tracks. Each vocal double, each harmony, each background vocal, with no effects usually.
This is giving me anxiety.
Yeah, let's say it's like, I don't know, 30 to 60 tracks depending on the song. And when I get them, they're all at this weird volume. They're like, it just sounds like a wall of sound of fucking chaos that is completely clipping. Most people, especially in the beginning stages, don't understand how to send multi-tracks or stems with proper gain staging. So a really good artist or a really good mixing engineer will usually, not all the time, receive things that are, the gain structure is pretty good. And on the really, really high level, and you don't need to do as many moves in order to get it where you want the song to be. For me, in the beginning levels, when beginner people, because those guys, let's say they charge $3,000 a mix, right? So you can hit up your local mixing engineer or something and negotiate a decent price for you per song. And when I receive the stems, because they might not be as knowledgeable, they don't have a label doing work or other mixing engineers doing work for them. I get like a wall of sound. I get like clipping. Things are too loud. And like the instrumental will be like plus 5 dB just clipping, and then the vocals will be like minus 20. You know, it's completely unbalanced. So what I have to do is ask for a demo or a reference song that they want the idea to sort of be like, and then I adjust everything to sort of fit that vibe. I adjust all the volume. I adjust the frequencies in order to sort of have it so all the tracks have a complementary relationship with each other. So everything sounds pleasant for that genre or what the artist is going for. And I add sometimes, you know, if that's my job for that, I tune the vocals and I add effects to the vocals and the backgrounds in order to add depth and dimension. So with music, sorry, this is a long tangent. I'll be done right now. With music, there's the stereo image, there's depth, and there's how do you explain that? So there's stereo imaging, There's stereo imaging left to right, right? You're left and right, and you're center.
Whoa. Watch me pan the vocals back and forth.
Don't do that. you have the stereo imaging left, right, and center, and then you have depth, like levels of depth within music, like
Sure.
dimensions where you can like reach into a song, things in the background, things in the front, and then you have like the EQ stuff. You have the cleanliness or like the cleanup jobs that you have to do in order for things to work with each other.
Sure.
So that's what it is, I guess.
Why do you like doing that?
I'm sick of that. I don't know. It's challenging. It's like a puzzle. It's like constantly, you know how you're very frustrated with puzzles all the time, and then like once you start getting it down, like once you're in the motion of it, it's very like meditative and it feels very good. And once you nail down a song and you're starting to get the vibe closer and closer, and you feel like it's never gonna end. You're never gonna get the song to the end product, and then you make a breakthrough and you get there and you start grooving with the song and just like the feelings that go with it. It just I think it's a really cool technical process that I enjoy. That's pretty much all there is to it. I enjoy the emotion that comes with it. I enjoy the feeling of getting the song right and making the artist love the music, and I enjoy good music. And I think there's a very small amount of music that I enjoy, and I think a small amount of good music. And it's nice to be able to contribute to something that you think will add to quality in the masses.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not saying all my mixes are amazing or the songs that I receive are amazing, they're certainly not, but try my best. You know, I try my best with what I have. But yeah, that's mixing. Mastering. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna get into mastering.
Nice.
It's all within the same realm almost.
Nice. How do you I just want to say I used to mix.
Yeah.
And I would put all of the tracks into the session. Obviously, I would mix in Ableton because Ableton's a better software.
Sure.
And I would start on like whatever, the kick or the bass or something.
Sure.
And then I would get going, and then I'd be like, oh, let me jump to this instrument. Let me jump to the piano. Halfway through mixing the piano, let me jump to the guitar. And then let me jump back to the drums. And then let me jump back to the bass. And then like it was just this anxiety-racked, anxiety-inducing like storm where all I did was go back and forth, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, I could like so clearly hear it at the beginning, but then at the end, I'm just like so lost.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with mixing and like even music creation at all is like I have such a clear picture of what I want to do,
Getting there.
and then as soon as I start, it's gone.
Yeah, I think that comes with time and making a lot of mistakes is knowing, because the thing with mixing is that, let's say you made a change to the kick drum, right? And then you make and you like where it's sitting. Now you make different changes to the rest of the drum set, and you worked on a few of the instruments, and you're like, you know what, the kick isn't sounding the way I wanted to. You go back to the kick again, and then you go to another instrument, like this is slightly, you know, that roundabout mixing that you're talking about. Yeah. It's because it's better, as much as you can leave things alone the way that they are, you don't need to enhance everything. The way that you received it is the way that the producer made the song. That's how they want to hear it.
Yeah.
Your job is to fix the things that are problematic and deliver a product that is releasable. It's not to change the song. You're not meant to make the song better production-wise. You don't want to change the sound. So what you're doing is like a circular way of mixing because if you change the frequencies in one area, right? Let's say the rest of the drums, the snare, or the floor toms, or the synths that are taking up a certain frequency within the kick, within the frequency spectrum of where the kick is sitting.
Yeah.
Once you cut out certain frequencies or boost, the kick is going to feel completely different. Once you change the volume balance of the song, the kick is going to sound completely different. You're going to hear things you didn't hear before. So it's good to start my starting point is always having a good like general mix without touching any of the faders, without EQing or touching anything. I just adjust the gain I adjust the clip gain of all the elements in the song to sort of sit at a good level, and all my faders are at 0. And then once I feel like I need to make changes, I can make changes. But only if I hear things. Like when you get like a good clip, when you get the clip gain pretty good, you're maybe 60-70% of the way there, depending on the song.
Wow.
You really don't need to touch up a lot. And that's what I'm saying emotion-wise, right? Like it's very selfish for us to go into a mix and be like, unless they ask for a makeover, you shouldn't give a makeover. You don't need to, not that you shouldn't, like you don't need to. The less you do, the results turn out really good. And I'm only saying this because I have been talking to so many mixing engineers. And these are people that I reach out to because I like their mixes. And what I do, and I know that there's amazing mixing and mastering engineers that do like crazy stuff that maybe is not within the realm of what I'm talking about, but they're so good at what they do, they're anomalies. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But the ones that I appreciate and the ones that I look up to, it's like minimalist. Like I'm doing as little as I can to get to the end product, small moves only when I need to, and it always starts with gain structure. Even with live mixing, it always starts with gain structure. That's the number one thing that I hear. And the rest is just extra. The rest is just polishing and getting the way there. Unless you're doing like production mixing and, like I said, makeovers. But that's completely different.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It takes. People don't realize they've been like, I want to pay you $100. I want to pay you $50. I want to pay you $100. Someone on Fiverr will do it for $50. Go get a mix on Fiverr for $50. Be my guest. Do it for 75. Do it for 100. Be my guest. It takes for someone to care about your mix. I don't care if you're a top professional or if someone actually wants to take the time and cares. Not that they can do it in an hour or 30 minutes. Yeah, I can do a mix in 30 minutes too. But if they care about your music, it can take hours to sit down and do all the little details. You doing it in 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, that's awesome. It just doesn't make a difference if you can get it done in an hour or 2 hours. You know what I mean? You can have a great result in an hour or 2 hours. You can have a great result in 8 hours. It's the result that matters. Unless they're asking for like a 3-hour turnaround, in which case I might be like, all right, bro, you can get what I'm going to give you in 3 hours, or you can wait like 2 days or a day and get what I give you if I have the time, or maybe a week if I'm super busy. You know, it just depends. So to be like, I want to spend $150. Okay, if I spend 10 hours on your mix and you want to pay me $150, you want to pay me $115 an hour. And I certainly guarantee you that some of the mixes that people are sending me, it takes 10 hours. And you might want, let's say, revisions. You can be an amazing mixing engineer. Someone can hate the work that you do. Right. Absolutely hate, just because they have their own demo in their mind that they can't get out. They have their own idea that they can't verbalize. They're not good at communicating. You know, you're essentially paying this person $15 an hour. So respect people's rates, and you know, and I'm not saying I'm super expensive. I'm just saying respect whatever the person tells you. Listen to their discography. If you like what they do, respect their rate. If you want to negotiate a little bit, that's fine, but don't negotiate like $200, $150. You know, like it takes a lot of work. It's a lot of work, especially if you don't know how to send multi-tracks, how to send stems.
I think there's nothing worse than like it's really frustrating when I work with clients, and like I have one guy in particular who I'm friends with, and I love the guy. But then I work with him, and he's just like so unsatisfied every time. And I'm like, how do you want it? Like, this photo of you looks incredible. You look fantastic in this. And he's like, I'm like, what? He's like, my 8-pack of abs just doesn't like, it's not popping enough. I'm like, what the are you talking about, man? And it's just like, sometimes it's so frustrating to work with people like that, where like you can never find common ground, and you feel like you're always just sliding backwards with like, you never make any progress towards something that looks good.
Yeah, I've definitely been like, okay, it's not for me. Like, if you don't like the vibe, if you don't like the style, if you don't like what we're going for, and we make revisions that you're asking for,
right?
And you're still asking for like, you know, if you're on an endless loop of revisions, maybe they won't hire you again, or maybe you don't want to work with them. They'll surely, it's very hard to find people that you like. So if they like you, but they're asking for things that you don't necessarily want to do, you don't have to work with them again. You know what I mean? It's not a make it or break it. You don't have to try to savor onto every dollar. There's going to be plenty of clients. There's going to be plenty of people that reach out to you if you're consistent. You know, like same with you. You know, if you're not enjoying work, even though it's paying you, you don't have to do it.
Dude, that's I want that to be my lasting thought. So like, I was thinking about, some girl hit me up, and you know, asked me for advice.
Okay.
And I've been toiling over this in my mind for several months, and it's like, I go into a photo shoot and I am scared and I'm nervous, because at the end of the day, when I'm hired by someone, it's a blue collar job,
right? And
I'm delivering a service, but you know, it's like maybe like a pale blue, right? Because it's blue mixed with white collar, or not, you know. So like, what I'm doing has my creative elements. And like obviously I'm being hired because of my style.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. Hopefully. And what I have been telling myself and the realization that I've been coming to is like, okay, I'm being hired at the skill level that I'm at. And like, it's okay for me to want to deliver. And I always want to deliver. But at the same time, like, if I don't deliver, that's like, it is what it is. You know, like if they're not happy with the photo shoot, like I had one a few months ago.
If you do your best, if you know that you gave it your best, yeah.
Right. But I had one a few months ago where the girl wanted to do like a Barbie shoot. And like I had never done anything like that. And I was like, okay, I'm like going completely like blind into this setting. And it's like, she's hiring me knowing that I have no experience in that.
Yeah.
You know, so like she's hiring me and I have to accept that like at the end of the day, I'm gonna learn from this. And like I'm gonna do my best. But there's still that element where I could like just not get the best photos.
Yeah.
And like I want to talk about this because I feel like for so long I've heard that it's like you need to do the best you can do and your best has to be the best.
Yeah.
And it's like you
have to make
yourself
mistakes.
up.
Yeah,
You're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna learn.
And it's
like,
an understatement because so many people say that.
Yeah.
It's like you don't understand the kind of mistakes you're gonna make.
Yeah.
You're gonna fuck up a whole project. You're gonna lose gigabytes of files. You're gonna like corrupt videos.
Yeah.
You're gonna delete sessions on accident.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose sessions. You're gonna lose mixes.
I'm not kidding, I had 800 photos that were overexposed and the faces on the people, because I was shooting with direct flash, the faces on the people were completely white for like 800 photos. And I was sitting there in like pure terror.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta make this work. But at the same time, it's like, I know that next time I shoot an event with direct flash, that my ass will never fuck up like that again. You know?
But you will never know. And that was happening like when I was recording bands or when I was helping out recording the bands. Any new experience that you have, you're going to make mistakes. You don't understand what the workflow is like, especially when you work with someone else. So just knowing how to mic up a drum set, just knowing how to record multiple people at one time, multiple instruments at one time, knowing those things, it's impossible to know without doing it. Yeah. And it's impossible to do things without making mistakes if you don't know how to do that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how can you do something perfectly and beat yourself up about it? That's why it's very important to work for the right people who are willing to teach you and allow you to make the mistakes.
Yeah.
Because realistically, it's not a big deal, right? Like, this moment will go on. The next thing will come. You didn't, unless you did something so bad that you were told not to do that, you ruined something, right? You absolutely ruined something that was unrepeatable. Right? That's also a mistake you're going to learn from. It's just going to be a much harder recovery. It's going to be a harder recovery for you mentally, but it's something you'll be able to get through. That being said, just be very attentive. Be quiet. Listen more than you speak. That's all it takes. Listen more than you speak. Be as quiet as possible and learn by observing. Don't ask too many questions.
But you also have to learn by doing.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
No, when I say
observing.
It's observing as in like, don't ask too many questions, learn by observing. But if someone asks you to do something, go and do it.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
they're going to ask you to do something if you're there to assist them or help them, or, you know, same with you, right? You don't go like, hey, Justin, by the way, what is this? If I put this flash, actually, never mind. If I put this second flash, you're friends with.
I totally do questions. I totally ask.
Yeah, but you're friends with Justin. You're friends with Justin. It's different. It's different. I'm just saying, if Justin was like a super, if he was that, if it was that other photographer,
sure.
Who was that guy you were talking about? Right? Would you be doing that?
No, of course not.
Yeah, you wouldn't say a word.
Yeah.
And if you mess up, he'd tell you messed up.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't do it again.
Right.
That's all it is.
But you know, I just want to talk about it because this girl, same girl, it was a studio session. She'd never shot in a studio before. And I remember when I had never shot in a studio before 8 months ago, right? And like how fucking terrified I was. And I'm so glad that we have such a gracious friend, Diana.
Oh, Zaina.
Yeah, who forked the bill on the studio so that I could sit there and like dig around with their photos and learn. But they still came out fucking fantastic.
They did come out really cool.
I'm an incredible photographer.
Yeah.
But like I had never worked with flash before. I had never worked with off-camera flash, like, and so it was a whole different world. But like, you know, I'm realizing now that you have to accept that you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
right? And like not beating yourself up about that.
Yeah, that's the hard part. It's the beating yourself. I still do it less than I did before,
Yeah.
and eventually you want to get to a point where you're just like in the flow of things, and you realize people that are somewhat successful, like the people that you'll meet. I don't know if this is entirely true. It's been certainly true for the people that I met at though. They are so like go with the flow,
Yeah.
try everything, make the craziest mistakes,
Yeah.
and they're just like chill. They're like, yeah, it happened to sucked. I really like went through it, but they got through it, you know, like, and they're still doing it and they're still successful and like, but they'll make crazy mistakes. Even people at the top of their game, they make crazy mistakes. You can't not make mistakes. And that's interesting because if you want to prepare yourself, for example, right? Like when we first got into the studio, I saw that we only had a trackball. So I purchased a trackball because I knew that it would be in every single studio I recorded at. And you can bring your own mouse. If your mouse is not compatible with that computer, it's not moving the way you want it to move on that computer, you might as well be using a trackball anyways. You know what I mean? Like, so in my head, I was like, okay, I need to know how to use a trackball as much as I like it or not. I purchased a trackball, which is expensive. It's like $100 for a trackball. I bought a trackball and I just used it in my room, in my studio. Not all the time, but I used it enough to get comfortable with it. So if I had to track someone, I could use it. And it's the same situation now at the studio I'm working at. Only trackball, tried using my mouse, didn't work out, only using trackball.
Bro, that trackball blows.
It blows. But I'm saying the concept, it also goes to anything, like for example, live sound. If you wanna be good at live sound, you work at a company, maybe you should buy like a cheap, like 10-channel, 8-channel mixer, mess around with it, understand gain structure, shoot the microphone through your speakers, test feedback. Like these are all things you can do in your room for a couple $100 and understand the way that microphones work and the way frequencies respond in a live sound setting. That's doable, but people will just freak out in their room instead until they go to work.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with photography. If you want to shoot digital, I mean, if you want to get into photography and you shoot digital, you should pick up a film camera and shoot film. And if you shoot on film, you should pick up a digital and shoot digital because like they both complement each other in different ways. I wanted one last thing. This has gone on so long, but one last thing. I wanna pull back the curtain because you called me last week and were like, "Hey,"
It's not that crazy.
You were like, "Hey, I have someone who I'm like talking into like hiring you." I'm like, "What the are you talking about?" And you're like, "Yeah, it's a makeup shoot." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know what the to do there." And like I have no idea what the I'm doing, but
But he says that every time and then you end up doing it.
but
I think you're just a masochist. Like you like putting yourself.
But listen to me. I've never done anything like that, right?
But you have within the realm of certain things. Like you can draw parallels from other things that you've done.
Sure. But what I'm saying is
That's like saying like, well, have you done a rock song? Like, yeah, I can do a f***ing rock song.
Listen. I've never done a shoot like this, right?
Sure.
But I worked myself into the brain processes that was like, yeah, I can do it. Like a year ago, I would have been like, no way, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
There's no possible way that I would ever do that. But now it's like accepting that I don't know, but trusting in myself that I can get there, right?
Yeah.
And then accepting that I will do the best that I can.
You'll deliver a final product.
And then this is the part that might bother you. If the best I can isn't good enough, then it's not good enough.
Yeah, but that I have that same mentality. But the problem is that I was telling him, listen, and this is for most things. Unfortunately, the way you need to establish yourself, this might be terrible advice.
Yeah.
You have to have that kind of blind confidence. You need to be able to make the mistakes and make up solutions for them in the moment. It's stressful, but you have to, because that's going to come up a lot. And if you're not adaptive, you might be able to not get yourself out of very difficult situations. You might end up, you might end up quitting.
Yeah.
But I told you, Matchi, when you go there, no one else knows anything about videography. You're the source of knowledge that everyone is going to be feeding off of.
Yeah.
You can take 100 extra pictures. You can take an extra 2 hours of video. And you don't charge for that time, but you take additional efforts in order to fail-safe yourself. In case something goes wrong, I have these additional videos. I have these additional photos that I can go to. I do the same thing. That's why we playlist every single take. You know, that's why we keep everything. That's why we store everything, just in case something goes wrong.
What I'm saying, right? Because I agree with what you're saying. That you need to be adaptive, you need to understand, and you need to provide your best.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, right? This is not me discounting my best.
Right,
I'm saying
right.
I
If your
will
best-
provide my best.
Yeah.
But if my best isn't good enough,
Yeah.
then it's not good enough.
Yeah, they should have hired
You're
someone.
paid me. You know what I mean?
But they should have hired someone that probably cost $5,000.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
their
That's
thing.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was the whole point.
Yeah, they know who they're hiring.
Yeah. That's it. Right. And it's like, but I feel like for so long with my ego, I've been in the mentality that's like, I'm only going to provide the best. I'm going to give you 100 times the value that you're
Right.
paying me. And then it only spirals me out of control because I'm like, I'm not good enough to do that.
Yeah, you should still give your
You
best,
know?
but you shouldn't put yourself in that mentality, right? Your best is your best.
Yeah.
That's where you're at right now.
Yeah. But the fucked up thing is that when you say your best is your best, I feel like
You're
there's a little ant in there that's like, your best isn't good enough though.
Yeah.
Like you're saying that and you're discounting yourself because your
Yeah.
best isn't actually your best. You can do 115%.
yeah.
And that's what's fucked up.
And
That's,
then you'll hear like this super successful photographers and
Yeah.
audio engineers be like, yeah, I just did, I just pulled up this thing and I just did it. And I'm like, I guess it turned out good, you
Yeah.
know, like the same confidence level that you have. You know,
yeah. You know, it's hard.
you're
It's
eating
hard.
out your brain.
And I want people like me, the 5 people on planet Earth that are
Mhm,
like me,
mhm,
to
mhm.
understand that, like, you know, it's not gonna be easy. None of this is easy.
When we can talk about happy stuff.
Never, bro. None of it's ever happy. What are you talking about? I lost my baby yesterday. Wow, what a tumultuous episode. Have you seen those TikToks where it's like the dude's like, wow, this guy doesn't stop yapping. But then it's like 10 minutes of them saying, this guy doesn't stop yapping. Mr. Yappers over here. Mr. Yappers. Mr. Yappington. Do you have any lasting thoughts? That all was my lasting thought.
No. I have nothing else to say. I'm exhausted. I need a nap.
Can I say, have you noticed, like, if you hold can you see, like, the way that the grill, like, bounces off the light? Only in your peripheral vision, though.
What are you doing?
Can we just have a moment of silence?
Moment of silence.
For my Nikon FM2N, this camera was my baby.
R.I.P. Shutter is absolutely.
It is.
We're getting it repaired though.
Yeah. I might ditch you early and go drop it off.
Also, I want to take a moment of silence. Not a moment of silence. I want to show everyone Matchi's best picture that he's ever
Oh,
taken.
you want me to
No,
bring it down?
I'll bring it down. I want to show everyone
gonna, like,
Matchi's best picture.
destroy it.
I've seen this picture a million times. It's on his laptop.
I changed it.
He got
It's not on
hired.
my laptop
yeah,
anymore.
It was on his laptop. It was on everything. It is, I think, the best picture he's ever taken. He got hired by a boxer to go to a professional boxing match ringside and take pictures.
Ringside
media. Let me get the picture.
Yeah,
right now.
get it. This is Matchi's best picture right here. How does it look? Oh,
Fucking nasty, bro.
look at that, huh? You know what it reminds me of?
We're the greatest to ever do it, man.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like Pacific Rim. It looks like does it not? Or maybe like a Transformer. You get what I'm saying?
like a Michael Bay.
Yeah. Doesn't it? He kind of looks like a Transformer or something.
Best to ever do it.
Best to ever do it.
We'll end it on that note.
Thank you so much for listening, for watching, which you should be doing on our YouTube channel. I would be hard pressed to remember the name of the YouTube channel right now.
It's okay.
TalkBox Pod, TalkBox
Podcast.
something like that.
Also, if you want to hit us up with any questions, please reach out.
Yeah.
My Instagram handle is mixing.waves. Waves is WAVS. Mixing is MIXING.
Dude, I was talking to someone.
Or type in Narek Manoukian if you figure that out.
Dude, I was talking to someone and they hit me with a WAVs. And they said,
You said this last episode.
and I'll say it every episode. That'll be my thing now at the end. They said WAVs, and I was like, oh man, do I say waves back or?
If you want to reach out to Matchi, Obscure Matchi is his Instagram
Obscure
handle.
Matchi,
Hit us up about anything, video, photography, mixing, mastering, recording.
Matchi, Obscure Matchi.
Mixing, recording, mastering, video, film, digital, anything. Life stuff. What
I
it's like
will-
moving out here, what it's like living in LA, what it's like trying to pursue the career. Is it worth it? No. Let me cut the
I
let me cut the
will-
conversation short. No, it's not worth. Or if you need a mentor, don't ask Matchi.
I'm absolutely not in a position to mentor anyone. In fact, I need heavy mentorship right now. I need a mentor. Please, God.
Anyways, it's great chatting. Yalla, talk to you later.
Thank you so much. If you listen to this on Spotify, please leave us a 5-star rating. If you listen to this on Apple Podcasts, also leave us a 5-star rating. If you listen to this on YouTube, hit that, slam that subscribe button, hit that like, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we release another video. Isn't that crazy? Like the way that it's ingrained into my mind. I've never studied the ad copy, what I should be saying about YouTube, but I've heard it so many times. Can I tell you the truth? Let me pull the veil back again. Never once have I ever hit the notification bell for a single human being.
But do it for us, or we're gonna be fucking pissed.
You need to
You better
do
do
it
it for us, or we're gonna be pissed.
Gets me fucking going.
Gets me going.
Gets me going. Okay, all right.
Slam that like button, bro.
Thank you so much. Just run it back again. Thank you so much for
This is-
listening. Thank you so much for watching.
It's an endless loop. It's an endless cycle of death. All right, yalla.
Yalla, bye.